Welcome to another Uncanny episode of the Cinestro Core. I'm your electrifying host,
Nice.
And today we are discussing Marvel's X-Men 97, now streaming on Disney+. Let's get right into it. So, the story thus far.
You got copyright claim.
Copyright, yeah.
Right.
We're down.
Video's
First
already
minute.
demonetized.
Yeah.
No,
Bob
I
Iger
didn't
came
claim
to
it
your
as mine.
house.
No, I didn't claim it as mine. I even said X-Men 97 before I did that. So
That's right. You're welcome, Bob Iger.
Keep your black Tahoes away from me, boy. Fight all the motherfuckers right now. You don't
Otherwise,
know.
we'll add an N to your last name.
Bob Iger.
Facts.
Bob Iger.
Bob Niger. I feel like that would
That's
imply.
okay.
Ooh.
I don't think like that. I don't think
I'm
with those
anti-racist.
Tomato.
I'm anti-racist.
Yeah.
Tomato.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll pack it up. I'm sorry. Let me put on my
Also, the
my
country's
smart man
called
glasses.
Niger, by the way. That's how you pronounce the country.
Please don't fucking say that ever again.
Speaking of other foreign countries, such as Genosha, let's talk about how X-Men 97 has progressed into not only one of the best Disney era Marvel shows out right now, one of the best animation shows out right now. Yes, I'm talking to you, Invincible. I'm talking right to you, Robert Kirkman, motherfucker. Love you. Get your shit together. This is crazy. X-Men, in 5 episodes, in 6 episodes, X-Men has done miles more than what Invincible had done in 2 seasons.
It really has.
This is coming from someone who was very hyped during the first episode of Invincible. X-Men 97 has blown all that shit out of the water just from storytelling alone. Forget just the animation stuff. Storytelling alone. But the animation style,
honestly,
too, great work.
Quality.
So what's everyone's thoughts? What is everyone's thoughts on the seasons thus far?
It fucks, dude. It's awesome. I know. How many episodes long is this season?
And they
10.
10? Okay.
We're nothing but art.
The fact that we got halfway through the season, and I know people are like, "Oh, it's only going to get better." That's insane, considering what happened in episode 5. You know, the fact that they're like, "Well, there's bigger things, there's better things. You guys are gonna." There's still a lot more to come. I think is incredibly telling and is really inspired, considering how safe the MCU has been playing it with their TV shows. The fact that X-Men 97 has kind of swung for the fences and hit it out of the park so far, I think is awesome. So I'm super happy with the show so far, and I'm super excited to see what comes from it.
No, I agree. Someone posted something. I think someone dropped the mid-season trailer, and like I'm trying to avoid spoilers for this.
I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I saw just like a 2 seconds of that clip, and I was like, and I'm not watching it because I want to be pleasantly surprised. I don't want to know anything going into the next now 4 episodes, because it's that good. It's that good, and it's like, and when a show gets progressively better and better with even with the quote unquote filler episode that we had, it was still good. It wasn't bad. It just felt like it could have been its own episode, and the life death portion could have been its own episode too. However, they made it work. I feel like there's so much more coming especially with the next 4 episodes. On the tail end of Life Death Part 2, it was kind of a hybrid. Let me not jump the gun on that. Let me go back. Let me backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about episode 5. Remember it. Let's talk about how Magneto was right, bruh. Michael.
He always is. When is it Magneto had a bad
my name?
Magneto was right.
Listen, I've said it for years.
What was he right about?
Dirty, filthy, disgusting sapiens walking around with their 2 legs and opposable thumbs, mad because they can't shoot fireballs or fucking cum lava. Boo fucking who? Boo goddamn who?
Preach, brother.
Fucking get your head out of your ass. Just be mad at the fact you don't have a metal skeleton and a fucking healing factor, or the ability to shoot ice cream out of your ass like Soft Serve, who is a real character. Look her up. It's interesting. The point being, the hatred for mutants, as an ally, I must say, has gone too far. And I've told them for years. For years.
Who's that?
Eric did nothing wrong.
Them.
Brother Magnus spoke nothing but the truth
talking to voices
to
in
these
his
dirty
head.
monkeys. And what did they do? They spat in our
Him
face.
arguing with his other personalities.
And so, after I saw them bomb Genosha, my mutant brothers, sisters, and themsters, I cried.
Themsters.
Yeah, bro.
Cried a little
Genosha
bit.
was a false flag attack.
I think
The moment I saw, that's crazy. That's actually insane. Holy shit, I just thought that.
false flag attack.
Wild.
Genosha was a false flag attack. It's crazy.
I felt so bad because I didn't think they were going to do the Mutant Massacre. I didn't think they were going to do that. I was like, "There's no way."
They do it just fucking soon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
as soon as they mentioned Genosha was coming back and everyone was really happy about it, I was like, "Oh,
it's coming." You said it's coming.
Oh, no.
It's coming in so.
Oh, no. They had fucking Exodus over there
soon,
shaking
brother.
his
But that's
yes, brother.
That's one of the things that I really like about this show is that it's what I was talking about earlier, is that the creatives are really like, they're going for it. They're just like, hey, we talk about stakes all the time, especially when it comes to superhero storytelling like this, right? Where it's so easy to fall into that trap of, is anything going to happen? No, not really, because they're all heroes, and at the end of it, they're going to come out okay. And to see something that where what happens in that episode in this episode specifically, episode 5, has repercussions that expand far, well into the future of this show. Only 5 episodes in is so like refreshing and exciting and ballsy, and it's just like, wow, like and they handled it, I think, so deftly, right? Because spoiler talk, obviously, right? Can we get into spoilers or no?
I think
right now.
Yeah,
you mean,
okay. So
those motherfuckers are dead.
So I was gonna say the fact
it's on you, bro.
The fact that they killed Magneto, and
they
Gambit,
killed my nigga, bro.
But not only that, the fact that they led with their interpersonal relationship between one another and the love triangle with Rogue, and like that was just all so beautiful and so wonderfully written, and then to pay it off and be like, hey, remember that investment into these characters? Fuck you, they're gone. Boom. I was just like, oh, bro.
Remember that choice Rogue made? Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter now. They're both dead.
Except it does matter.
It's wild, like Luis was saying, like how well this show does like these amazing set pieces, like these intense, incredible moments. And it's weird how it's done it in like 5-6 episodes?
5 episodes, yeah.
When was the Genosha Massacre? Right, 5 episodes? 5th episode in?
Yeah, 5 episodes in.
It's able to do something as extreme as killing off all of these beloved characters that it made you fall in love with in 4 episodes. Mind you, it made you like them at the very least. And to wipe them all out along with millions of others in an instant, in only the fucking 5th episode, without it feeling like it's jumping the shark. And that's not even a finale. That's something that would happen at the end of a series, and they're leading with that.
Yeah,
that is incredible. That speaks to just excellent pacing and excellent writing on the part of the crew.
And I think the fact that it seemed like they had this planned out. They're like, this is what we're doing halfway through the season, is the Genosha Massacre. And then they're like, and moving forward, we're just gonna go boom, 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 boom. Here you go. We're gonna introduce all these characters. We're gonna touch on all these points. We're gonna start and end these arcs for these characters 6 episodes in, and it's just like, okay. And usually I'd be kind of scared about them, like for example, like the whole Storm arc. I'd be really concerned about them kind of introducing and ending that arc and that obstacle so early on into the season. But they're just like, nope, here, look at it, here it is. We get in, we get out. It matters. It's important. You see her journey, and now we move on to the next thing. And it's just like,
exactly.
And I don't know, man. It's just so well. It's handled so well. It doesn't feel rushed. It all feels breathed in and lived in. But at the same time,
it feels like a comic. Like that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do in comics.
Yeah.
I think that's that's the point you're like not quite like getting to. Is like you're moving on from like let's say issue to issue, and that's what it feels like when you're watching the show. It's not like watching Invincible where it's dragged the fuck out. I gotta watch Debbie fucking worry about her alcoholism and shit. Like that should be happening in the background, man. Like this is what I want to see. I feel like this is what we all want to see. We want to see more of this. I want to cry because Magneto fucking comforted Lurch in his leech in his last moment.
My God.
That's what I want to
That
do.
shit hurt me, bro.
Oh fuck, dude.
He said, "I'm sorry." Oh my God.
In German.
He said, "Don't be
German.
afraid."
Don't be afraid. What did Leech say to him? I'm scared, or what did he say?
I don't remember, man.
Something.
I
like
remember.
that,
I remember what my boy Magnus said.
I remember when he was saying to
made
the
me cry.
Morlocks, he was like, "Do not worry, Magneto will save us." And I was like,
right there, I knew. I was like, "Fuck."
Dead.
He said it's
You're all
done.
I
fucking
said,
He
either
ain't
dead.
they're
saving
dead or he's dead.
He ain't
And it was
saving
You
fucking-
can't have
It was
hope
so-
as the mutants.
It was
Yeah,
so
it was
over,
a
bro.
bug.
It
What were you
was so
saying,
over,
man?
bro. I was just saying it was so
God.
over.
I will say
First
of
of all,
all the
Gambit gotta
deaths.
be.
Yes.
Oh.
We're about to say
I was just
Magneto.
saying Gambit. No, I was just saying Gambit. Gambit went out like the realest nigga of all comics.
Dude,
That's what I
that was
it was
saying.
amazing.
bro. When
Incredible.
he was episode. I know Magneto was holding it the fuck down, but like Gambit was episode MVP. Bro pulled up on the Sentinel. He said, "The name's Gambit, mon cher. Remember it." I was like, hard.
And-
I knew
and-
he was gonna die too, but
Yeah.
hard.
But
That
this
shit was so
but
hard.
this goes to show kind of like the respect and like the love that they have for these characters, because even though they are killing them off, even though it seems pretty final, you know, and pretty final, like they respect and love these characters so much that they're like, here, we're gonna have them go out cool. You're gonna see Magneto's humanity, you know, kind of his empathy. You're gonna see a side of this character that we're not used to seeing if you're just like a casual fan. And it's like we're gonna give these characters these character beats and these character moments that what's it called, expand their character despite it being their last appearance and despite them dying. Gambit being as selfless as he is and putting Rogue before himself, you know, and to the very end, till his death, right? It's just like, I don't, bro. It just
Magneto also protecting Rogue right before he dies.
Exactly.
Rogue, the
And Gambit.
entirety
He
of
said both of
Gambit.
y'all.
Genosha. He said these are. It's like Charles entrusted him with the X-Men, and he said these are my X-Men now. I'm gonna protect my students, my children.
Yeah.
I was like, this is something that like Invincible fails to capture. You know, it fails to keep the audience. It fails to keep an emotional aspect going. It fails to, like you said, Gerardo just said, heart. There's really no heart to Invincible, and
Exactly.
that's simply on how they're writing the season. Another thing I want to mention also is that we talk about Genosha and them doing basically the annihilation of the mutants right there. There's a little something called the Invincible War that I do not think they're gonna do because they're too pussy. They're not gonna do it, bro.
They preloaded up to it at this point. I think
they're
gonna do
alternate marks.
They're mixing it. I think
if they don't do it, I'm blowing up Amazon headquarters.
I think they're doing it mixed in with Angstrom's return.
That's a promise.
I think. I don't know. It's weird. The pacing is weird. I think to what you're
spoiler
saying.
Alert, Angstrom might maybe come back.
There you go.
If you still give a shit in 3 years when that show comes back.
In 5 years,
on X-Men season 4, and they're still doing season 3 of Invincible. No one gives a shit.
The thing I feel like this show does really well compared to Invincible is like with its comic book pacing that it has, that like quick flash. All right, don't focus on this. Come on, we're going on to the next thing. Like similar to how like Across the Spider-Verse had all these little Easter eggs and everything, but it was like, no, quick fire, back onto the next thing. It felt like a comic book brought to the screen, right? I feel because it keeps that pace throughout while also knowing which moments to marinate on does really well because it keeps a consistent flow of a pace, like in a wave, as opposed to Invincible, which straight lines keeps going up and then slams down and then straight lines and then we'll have like the most minor increase because they'll have such a off timing with the pacing of what's going on in the storyline compared to where it should be in the comic that they'll have to keep stopping and starting and slowing down and speeding up certain moments where they'll pad run times for different things. Like that whole story of fucking William's boyfriend being a cyborg. Like, I don't want to give a shit about that. I don't
Oh
give a fuck about
God,
that.
so bad, dude.
Doug
So
was at
bad.
least like a secret agent. Who the fuck is this guy? He looks like a fucking reach.
To be fair, it was in the comics. But if we're talking about adaptations, that's one of the things that we can lose. I feel.
We can definitely
Also,
X-Men
Donald
97,
didn't have this whole fucking arc in the comics. That was
it wasn't
that took
that
a long
intense.
fucking time.
Whereas in X-Men 97, like even the episode with Jubilee and Sunspot, like that contributed something. They grew together. They grew as characters, and that advances the plot and the story forward and their relationship, which is all the X-Men is about. Is building relationships. Is about their relationships to each other and to humankind. And so the fact that we have a one-off episode that many people be like, oh, it's filler. Not really, because Sunspot and Jubilee got something out of that, something positive from a plot and a story perspective. Now next time we see them, they've grown. There's an arc. We've seen a change in those characters, and so it'll tie in beautifully to whatever the story is at large that they're trying to tell. So there's just a difference in adaptation. I think is knowing what to focus on and what to choose, or what to omit, what not to omit, and so. I just think they're doing a really wonderful job, man. Oh, and one thing I wanted to say, just just to that something that shows like a really good mastery of tone, like that the show has. It's like the whole Genosha, the Massacre on Genosha sequence, like that was terrifying, dude. The fucking Master Mold just coming in and just fucking everything up. And like it was like scary and heartbreaking and and not to get like too like real of like we obviously see all these like it was just like very like kind of like jarring and shocking and scary to see that on screen, all things considered, like going on in the world and stuff. And I just think it was like it's just like it's powerful,
it's timely, right?
It's timely, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's like people discuss, we talk about all these we've talked about various movies and shows and characters across all the episodes. We're on our 70th episode right now. Of the 70 episodes we've discussed different characters and all that, I feel like the X-Men are the most relatable simply because of the allegory to, humanity, to the civil rights movement.
Minorities in general.
Minorities in general. And, you can like your Captain Americas and your Iron Mans, but if I'm being real, I don't see any similarities to me and Tony Stark, to me and Steve Rogers. I can find myself in any of the X-Men characters. What?
He said, I can see myself in U.S. Agent.
You're a jingoist?
No. I'm sorry.
He's a cop.
You're a hyper nationalist?
No, too fucking far, man.
I can see myself in the U.S. Agent. If you catch my drift.
Get him out of here, coach.
Nah. Let him cook.
Put him in, give him a field goal.
I can fix him.
Sorry. What were you saying, Matt? Sorry, you were cooking. My bad.
The point is that these are some very relatable characters with very relatable and impactful stories. And that's not to say that, Captain America and all them, Sam and Tony and Natasha didn't have impactful stories. But what we're seeing right now is what we missed over the last 10 years. How many years?
MCU.
The Singer X-Men.
15 years.
No, the Singer X-Men movies from like 2000 to like fucking
20 years, 25 years.
So this is what we missed. And Bryan Singer, motherfucker, you gonna pay.
I heard about you.
I heard about you.
You gonna pay. You
done told me about you.
I'm gonna get your ass. This motherfucker desecrated my X-Men so nasty. I want his butt now pinned up on the wall. I want some butts pinned up on the wall.
I want the butt skin peeled off on the wall.
He just peeled. Word to Top Gun.
But AZ, I was gonna ask you.
The whole point is that. Oh my bad.
No, you're good. I was gonna.
The whole point is that like we missed out on quality stories like this for a Logan Jean Scott love triangle, or a this and that, and like, why didn't we get this for all this time? This is what we needed. This is what
we're focusing on Mystique being the most the best character, and everyone loved her. She was
I think
nobody give a fuck about.
I think it has to do with the fact that like just like the current state of like comic book storytelling, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like first they had to make those X-Men movies because comic books weren't like all that popular. Comic book movies weren't all that popular, so they had to try to make something that was pretty four quadrant that a lot of people could come see, even if you weren't a comic book fan.
We needed something Republicans could watch.
Exactly, essentially something that people who didn't read comics could enjoy. But the medium's become so oversaturated with comic book storytelling. We've basically told every major important comic book, storyline. So it's like it's getting to the point where they have to be as hyper specific and adapt these stories as closely as possible now, because now you have all these people invested. Now we've seen it all. Now you have the real fans are like, okay, we've seen all that bullshit. Give us the good stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, I think that's why it's taken so long to kind of get to that point. But I was going to ask you, Izzy, like, considering I know you love Claremont, I know you love these comics. I was going to say, like, how good is this in like from an adaptation sense, from the comics into the series?
They're pulling shit from all over the place. For instance, they had the Council, and that's a Jonathan Hickman new era X-Men concept.
Cello.
So I thought that was nice. They had, for instance, fucking members of the Hellfire Club. Like they had Emma Frost,
which is a Claremont creation, right?
Well, Emma Frost, I think she's Claremont era, if I'm not mistaken.
Creating something, all right.
But but like the Mutant Massacre and that whole thing with like Cassandra Nova, because in the comic she's the one who does it. Mm-hmm. That whole thing is like a Grant Morrison edition.
Okay,
so that's
newer.
That's like 2000s, I think, like late 2000s. If I'm remembering this correctly. But so far they're doing a good blend. They're doing a solid blend. They're pulling from every X-Men run I like, which is really impressive. Because then again, I'm sheeple. I'll read almost anything Grant Morrison makes. I mean, the man made The Killing Joke. He doesn't miss. He doesn't fucking miss.
Morrison, it goes like this: Jonathan Hickman, Grant Morrison.
I know who that is.
Right here.
The man made Professor Pig. Like he hits. He hits, dude. He fucks. But so far with like adapting different things from the comics, they're doing a pretty good job. They've changed a couple of things here and there. Like they've changed Sunspot, Robert DaCosta, just a little bit. A little teeny tiny tad. But characterization wise, they're all pretty much about the same. Now, the only thing that kind of is a little bit of a wiggle room is that this is also a continuation of the X-Men animated series from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's more so an adaptation sequel of an adaptation. So it's kind of like a second hand. So it's kind of like this hodgepodge,
right,
so to speak. Right. Because it's not only just a legacy sequel, but it is also adapting different eras of X-Men that have come since.
Right. You have to take the continuity into consideration and then adapt from there.
Because there are certain things that if you just kept stagnant and the same, you wouldn't have people who are like modern audiences and modern viewers with anything new or interesting. They'd be like, oh, okay, I mean, that's cool. Oh, Dark Phoenix. Yeah, I remember that. They made a movie about that. Like if they read Fred Walker,
right.
basically, right?
Yeah,
they have to cover things that are really well lauded and celebrated by people who read the comics, so they'll be able to recognize and put at the screen and go, I get that reference, but also be able to be compelling enough for newer people who aren't familiar with that material. So it gets a nice blend, which just goes to show, once again, how well this show was crafted with how they were putting everything together. Because with the way that they found that synergy to get both little, what do they call it? Both demographics, I guess, of comic and non-comic book readers. Like I have some of my friends who are just anime people, or not even really like that. They just like fucking sports. They play 2K all day, right? And they fucking watch this shit. They were asking me about it. Like, yo, have you seen the new
Expand your horizons,
and I was like, I already did.
They
I already fucking did. And I put them onto it. And there's also speaking to like comic book things, right? There's like so many things I love seeing. For instance, I love seeing the Shi'ar Guard, fucking Gladiator.
Yeah,
I
bro,
lost my mind.
We didn't
Yeah,
even
that
touch
was
on
awesome.
He's
that.
when I
so
tell you,
goddamn cool.
when I tell
Uh,
you,
for those of you who don't know, he's basically a Superman analog for DC. But the way that his species works is the more confident they are, the stronger they are. And you might think you
he's
can just bitch
him.
him into submission, but it takes a lot, and I mean a lot, to make that man not think he is in his bag. He is fucking cool. And then they also had goddamn Vulcan.
Vulcan,
Yeah,
baby, let's
Oh,
fucking
man,
go.
Vulcan, the true
son,
king of space. Holy fucking
son,
shit. It's weird seeing him like less genocidal than usual. He was so chill. I was like,
I mean, we did
okay.
just get a tease. Like we only did see him for
Yeah,
a little bit, you
he's
know.
there for like
So
2 seconds,
but I was
bro.
just like, whoa. It's like going back in time and taking a tour of like an art school and finding Hitler there. It's like, ooh, like but they don't, and it's like, ooh,
you know what's
ooh.
coming.
Goat back, goat back. They
But
brought
yeah,
goat back.
it's but yeah, oh yeah, they did so much, man. They also had Ronan the bitch. I fucking hate that
Ronan,
little
Ronan
bastard.
the accuser, Ronan the bitch
Yeah,
ass.
dude. The man who was somehow too racist for even the Kree, which is impressive.
I know.
That's man,
That's like
dude.
that's like
God, he
Gold.
sucks.
like the Trump side of the
Never mind.
GOP. You know, like that's crazy. How you get kicked out of that shit? Wild. Speaking of
But
bringing
yeah,
people
it's
back,
great. Yeah.
speaking of bringing people back, someone mentioned something earlier that this is a continuation of the '90s X-Men series. And for those of you who
Yeah.
do not know, the last episode ended with, oh god, Charles dying. That's where
Of
this
the
came
of the
from.
'90s series.
The '90s series. That's where it ended with Charles dying.
Yeah.
And so this entire time, the last 4 or 5 episodes, it's been canon or thought that Charles is dead. Guess who made his fucking return? Episode 6. The bald-headed king himself. The master of mental manipulation. The motherfucking chief
King of bald head
scientist.
aggression.
King of bald-head aggression. The OG Chrome Dome, my GOAT, Professor Charles Xavier.
Yes.
Like, that shit was crazy. I was so
I think
excited to
he's-
see him back. I kind of want to see. I want to know how that happened, simply because like I just want to know. Has nothing to do with no.
It also
impact
came
on
out of
his comic.
nowhere. I thought this motherfucker was dead,
I legit thought they were just gonna
and now
skip
he's
that.
fucking aliens, which I respect.
Hey man, that Shiusi got him going crazy.
Yeah, boy, that Shiusi, boy.
Y'all got way too excited about that.
Boy, he clapping them space cheeks, boy. But no,
That
I
bird
think,
cooch got him acting unwise.
but that's the
All right, I'm
thing.
done.
See, that's the thing. You know,
Projecting mental images.
they got us. You know, kind of. They're throwing us for loops here. They're like, oh, Xavier's dead. Now we got Magneto. We got Magneto's whole arc. Now he died. Oh, guess what? Charles is back. And in that one episode that they showed that he was in, he had a whole arc as well. He was like, actually, you know, I might, you know, he goes from being pretty certain that he wants to stay with what's her face and get married to I have to go back and save my kids. You know, something's going on. My children, and that the last bit of that episode where he was like, I have to go. And you know what? I was just like, oh, that shit, bro. I don't know what it is about the emotional stakes in this show, or just like the writing. It gets you, bro. It's just like it's so good, man. But yeah, did y'all like the Storm storyline?
Yes, that's my next point. Speaking of Queen Storm, my GOAT, my Kenyan queen, bro. It's time to glaze.
Is she Kenyan?
Yeah, she Kenyan, bro. Canonically,
she is now.
Canonically, she Kenyan. I'm saying we up, bro. We up. The storyline with like I mentioned earlier, the storyline with Storm. She lost her powers. She goes to meet Forge, and Forge is trying to help her gain her powers back. That was that 50-50 episode with the Jubilee story arc. I said that one should have been separate. That's simply because I wanted more of that. However, I retract my statement because Life Death Part 2 gave us more of what that story was supposed to be. And they did it well. Storm faced her demons literally and physically, like physically and metaphorically faced her demons, got her powers back, and we got the motherfucking black suit, baby. You know what I'm saying?
That shit was amazing,
she
dude.
got the fucking
That shit was
40-inch bust down. You see that hair, boy? She came in there.
She got that shit on.
She got that shit on
out of the weather.
I was so turned up. Oh my god. I'm about to glaze so hard. Bro.
I was about to say that. I was gonna say the Kenyan glaze is going crazy, dude.
It's so good.
Shout out Kenya, I guess.
Bro,
I'm more of a Ghana guy myself, but you know,
Karibu Kenya,
more of a Senegal person.
Shambo.
Y'all don't fuck with Congolese.
Stand up, bro.
Congolese, y'all fuck with the Congolese.
I fuck with Congolese.
And look, and I wasn't very excited. I know I texted the group chat and I was like, oh, I'm about to watch a Storm episode. But you know, and I wasn't really invested when I first started it. But like after I got to the end of it, I was just like, dude, yeah, of course they did it. They give us basically a Storm standalone. They showed us how she got her powers back. They showed her struggle and her fear and her anxiety and basically, you know, overcoming that and just showing how that she's so powerful. She can overcome a power wiping weapon, you know. And so I don't know, man. I think
grow her powers back.
She can grow her powers back.
That shows.
I'm telling you, dude.
That the oppressors can never hold us down, bro. They can never take our power away, our true power away.
That's right.
No matter how hard they strike, we always stand up and fight through and come back stronger than ever.
Inshallah. Mahershala Ali, yeah.
Mahershala Ali. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Honestly, yeah. This is just top to bottom. Just man, I think the only complaint I have about this show, just at all, is that I gotta wait for it, man.
I love
Speaking
that.
Of,
I love that. I'm
waiting
waiting.
for
Incredible.
Speaking of waiting for it, what's our expectations for the rest of the season? What are we expecting to see moving forward? There's only 4 episodes left, so we're running out of time.
It's hard to say considering we don't know exactly what they're gonna.
Cable's coming back. He's gonna save my boy Magneto.
Please,
there's no way you introduce a time traveler without undoing that shit. I mean, they can't do this to me.
Is that in the
Inshallah
comics?
Magneto?
Like, is that possible?
I don't read that shit.
Inshallah Magneto back.
It would be lazy because the only other time they've invoked time, anytime they invoke time travel is usually gross and messy.
Yep.
But if
I mean,
but
Cable's inherently. I mean, he is a time traveler. You know, like
I know.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't.
Why would they introduce him right before this huge thing if they're not planning on bringing him back?
Yeah. No, they can bring him back, but I feel like using him as an undo button, unless they do it in a non-clunky way. I feel like.
I think
if they establish that this is something he can only do once, right?
Yeah.
Not again.
Let's say twice.
Fancy. You know what I think they're gonna do? I think they might do the Brood saga, or at least like tease it or lead into it.
Perhaps.
That's what I think.
I know what that is.
The Brood are fucking gross though.
They are. We haven't seen it. You know, it feels like that's uncharted territory from the comics, and they're really pulling from Chris Claremont's run, as we know. So, you know,
that is true.
That's something that I don't know could be interesting. There's absolutely no substance to that at all. I just think it would be cool to see.
I think they've already done the more cosmic side because they dealt with the Phoenix already. Yeah. So that leaves a lot of space fairy. Maybe they might invoke Star Fox, the fucking father of Scott.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe.
Well, wasn't he was in the original
I think he might have been
X-Men animated show.
I think he might have been, but they could
during the Phoenix saga.
You're not talking about the Star Fox that was in fucking Eternals, right? Harry Styles.
No.
I'm
talking about the OG Star Fox.
The one from the N64 game.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
The one who doesn't barrel roll.
No. But I think maybe something like that, or since they're doing a whole lot of stuff to deal with like Charles Xavier and the Mutant Massacre, maybe Sinister's got a benefactor and it's Cassandra Nova, or
That'd be crazy.
at
That leads
worst
into Deadpool.
I love that guy.
true, or
I love that
at
guy.
worst,
He's pretty cool.
at fucking worst, and I really hope they don't do this because it might actually make me just a little bit mad. Okay. If they do the Moira McTaggart shit, where it's her
They're going
Yeah.
repeating multiple lies, when Hickman first did that, I thought it was kind of cool. But the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, they keep kind of reusing the Moira thing that Hickman made, and it's getting kind of drawn out. And I don't really like it that much. It's kind of lame.
Yeah.
But she was on the council,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't see her during the massacre. You don't see her have anything happen to her. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That means she not dead.
Damn, you spitting, bro.
I don't want to say it, but I mean, okay. Or maybe Mystique.
Oh yeah, I mean, because Claremont
We haven't
brought
seen her.
he brought Mystique and Deathbird from his runs on what other comic book run were they on? Was it New Mutants, right? And he brought Deathbird and Mystique.
Uncanny.
I think it was Uncanny X-Men. I might be wrong. I'm blanking.
Oh no, they were Ms. Marvel. They were Ms. Marvel, and he brought them over from that to his X-Men run. But I don't know.
But yeah,
we'll see. I'm excited.
Could go anywhere.
I want to see X-Force. I want to see Scott leave and give up his leadership of the X-Men so he can join X-Force, and then we get that cool sick ass. We get that sick ass suit.
with the hat, with the head cover,
with the X on his chest.
I love that suit.
It's fucking
the sexy suit.
And then Storm can become the leader of the X-Men, which makes sense considering she got her powers back.
Hell yeah. Or we get some like offshoot of Wolverine in the X-Men, and we have Logan.
No, he's been
again.
too
and then
prominent
they start
I'm gonna
gawking
be
him
honest,
again.
man. I love Logan, but I feel like both the comics and the movies have had this problem just within like the cultural zeitgeist of the X-Men of making him have the Batman problem where they make him the front and center of every fucking thing to do with that team. Like
he's
anything to
fucking
do
cool.
with the Justice League. I know he's cool.
It's a cyclical
like,
problem, though. It's what happens. The movies made him popular, so the comics are trying to capitalize off the popularity of the movies by making him like front and center in the comics, and then it just repeats and repeats and repeats. When that wasn't ever originally the plan.
Yeah, that wasn't it's a terrible thing. Like he boiled over from a fucking one-shot Hulk issue, and now he's this. He's cool.
He is cool.
Seriously, fucking stop it, man.
I know.
Please.
Give us more Cyclops.
Give him his own show.
Baby.
Give me X-Men Wolverine. Make it a show and make it right this time.
Origins.
Honestly,
yeah, whatever.
X-Men Origins, the animated series.
That would be
honestly,
sick.
I'm very intrigued to see what they do with this, though.
Me too.
I have so many guesses on where it's going to go, and I feel like any one of them could be right or all of them could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched a show in a while that's been this unpredictable, and I like it. Yes. I like it a lot.
It's exciting. I'm locked in.
It's unpredictable. It's good. It's well written, and we are so excited for the rest of the season.
Sorry, I want to make a correction. I said Cyclops joins the X-Force. That's not true. He joins X-Factor. My bad. I needed to correct that. Whenever he leaves the X-Men, he joins X-Factor, not X-Force. Yes.
X-Force is that Deadpool shit.
Deadpool, yeah, different.
Yeah, it's Deadpool, Psylocke,
X-Factor.
Yeah, X-Factor is a team of real niggas, bro.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just didn't want anyone to be like, "He's not X-Force, he's X-Factor."
Before we get jumped in the comments, man, we have to limit comment interactions now. All 10 of our audience. No, I'm playing. We got a lot of people. We got people viewing this shit daily, bro.
All 2 of our audience.
Shout out everyone who tunes in to this podcast, bro. Shout out everybody who will be tuning into the Cinestro Corps. Speaking of, that is another thrilling episode in the books, you guys. Huge thanks to everyone who tuned in today. Keep the excitement going by following us on all platforms at Cinestro Corp. That epic lineup this year that you do not want to miss. Remember to smash that like and subscribe button to never miss a beat. I'm watching you. Smash that shit. Like that shit. Show us some love by leaving a stellar 5-star review wherever you listen to this podcast, or you catch it, watch it, view it, however. Spread the word about our podcast and YouTube channel far and wide. Share with your friends, your family, your fellow X-Men, your entire network. Your support means the entire world to us. Until next time, y'all stay awesome, and we will catch you on the next electrifying episode of the Cinestro Core. Peace. X-Force. Oh, real quick before we close off for the night, I forgot to do my little shout outs, bro. Hold on.
Whoa.
Can't forget. Big shout out to Backstage OL. If you want the most up to date, best information about everything Hollywood, tap in with them. David and them got some cool stuff going on, so check in with Backstage OL. Shout out to our boy AZ at Tari Singo on YouTube and on Twitch. Tap in. We're gonna have all these at names and links in our video description at the bottom. And then, of course, follow us on all our platforms at Cinestro Core. Like I said, we got so many big things coming up. We're trying to get on top of that on the social media end. So, yeah, tap in. But again, that being said, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time on the Cinestro Core.
To the Lou Buckaroo.
Adios, amigo.